Coming in at number 3 on our CHGO draft board, the man has the bloodlines, not quite like yours truly at the Carman. Of course, came from Freddie Carman, star at Marshall in Western Illinois before he won World War II on cleanup duty, bringing the whiskey to officers in Japan. But he did come from, thank you, Nick, but Pro Bowl linebacker Joey Porter, who played 13 years in the NFL. We are talking about Junior, who has volunteered to feed the homeless when he's not batting down passes for the Nittany Lions. 6 of them against Purdue, by the way. That was a school record. Take that, Brags, Purdue basketball fan. And speaking of hoops, by the way, this could play at 6'2.5", the longest cornerback of the bunch, and the former teammate, of course, of Nittany Lion, now Chicago Bear, Jaquan Brisker. He did not allow a touchdown all season long, only 9 completions. That was as a junior before he did sit out the Rose Bowl to focus on the NFL draft board. Number 3 on our board, Joey Porter Jr.
He was focused on our draft board?
Did I say it like that?
He was. He wanted to skip the Rose
Sitting
Bowl.
out the Rose Bowl to focus on the NFL draft. Number 3 on our board.
I gotcha.
Did I not have the proper pause?
You said he was focused on the draft board.
Writing Greg Braggs' name in my notes to do intros was
It hurt a little bit.
confronting moment in my day.
It was painful.
But I loved it all the same.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate the intros. Yeah, Joey Porter Jr., amazing bloodlines, obviously. His father being Joey Porter. You got the size. You got the length. I mean, you're feeling pretty good about what you got here. And quite frankly, he was fun to watch at Penn State because he had that length. He was aggressive. And that was when they would actually throw the ball at him, because one of the things I actually like about him is you watch how teams game plan against Penn State last year, and they're just like, we're not going to throw that way. Mm-hmm. So that's obviously going to hurt your production a little bit when it's like that. And 1 career interception in 4 years is a little concerning. I forget who that corner was out of Clemson a few years ago that had 0 INTs. And I just could not get over that.
The Raiders? Is that
maybe? Yeah. I think the Vikings. Was it Alexander?
Oh, yeah, maybe. It's ringing a bell.
I think
see if I can find it.
Anyway,
Mackenzie Alexander?
Yeah, I think that's who it was. I don't think he had an interception in college. Maybe that's what it was.
Wiggins?
But it really doesn't matter.
Guy Joey says Mackenzie Alexander is the name you're looking for.
I think
not
that's
Nate Wiggins.
Now, I actually watched Joey Porter Jr. and everyone I think looks at him like long and lanky and sticky man cornerback. I'm not going to debate that. I actually kind of watch him though, and just the way he moves around, I think he can be a fit in the Bears' zone-based defense, and it maybe even could accentuate his skill set even more and get his hands on the ball even more. So I like him, and he did have 6 pass breakups against Purdue, which I believe was a conference record.
He's got an 81-inch wingspan.
Yeah, jeez,
81. Which is very hard. That's a scout drooler right there. He's also, there is something to be said for people that literally have been around the game their entire life.
That's
like
true.
the Currys, they grew up around it, and all of there's something that the lights don't seem as bright to a lot of people that were in that position. This guy was a ball boy for the Steelers. He was hanging out with Mike Tomlin's kids. None of that really matters, but when you combine it with all of his physical traits,
it does matter a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth noting. That's why I'm bringing it up. Again, the dad, 13 years, Steelers, Dolphins, Cardinals. This guy is not going to. He's going to feel like he belongs immediately, and he's got the physical traits that are making everybody drool. I mean, I think he's going to clearly be, a first-round draft pick, no doubt about it.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he'll definitely be a first-rounder, you guys. For me, I watched him against Purdue, and that you guys mentioned the 6 pass breakups, and there was a lot of good things in that game. There were some bad things that I saw from Joey Porter Jr. there. The good, like when you talk about the length, when he's engaged with a wide receiver who's trying to block him, that arm length comes to play where he's able to just get on the wide receiver, disengage, and make a tackle. There are plays where he's recognizing he's in phase with a wide receiver downfield, recognizes the wide receiver underneath coming on a drag route, is almost getting the interception. Doesn't complete the play, but you can see the instincts that he has. There were times where Purdue lined up Charlie Jones outside one-on-one. You're running the slant route. Joey Porter's hands weren't there. He's getting the inside release on him. It was on posts. It was on slant routes. And then the other Purdue wide receivers were doing that. It was later in the game where Joey Porter started to use that length to his advantage and was able to almost get another interception. And again, that's just one game, but I thought there was just a lot of times where he gave up the inside on those slant routes. And a guy like Charlie Jones went up against Devin Witherspoon earlier in the year. That was a very competitive matchup. This one, Jones wins it easily against a guy like that. So it's not to say that he can be a really good player, which I think he will be, but I want to see him just get a little bit more consistent with his hands, use that to his advantage, not give wide receivers the in-breaking routes every single time. But you see the instincts, you see the length, you see hopefully the ball production that can come at the next level. Just those in-breaking routes, it definitely gave him trouble in that Purdue game.